What the fuck, man? Jesus Christ in heaven. Best groomer. Fuck off, man. Hey, let's see if this works. No, it does not. Still don't. Good morning and all that. Good morning to you too, man. Draw exclusive weapons for limited time principal ends. Oh, view details. Can I? Whoa. How are you, marzipan sausage? Marzipan sausage. No, thank you. Don't wanna actually. This is my new house, by the way. This is a picture Nobles gave me. It's his character. He's a perv. I don't even know why I have the storage crate there. Still a bit joy drunk after the wedding, as I should. Nice. I'm good. It's just I think I'm getting sick after the wedding. Oh my gosh. That was such a good wedding. So much fun. That's a little butterfly. We're gonna grab this, we're gonna grab this. I should be preparing for class. I have class today in about 3 hours. But I really want to play this and do a little bit of streaming, so here we are, you know? Why would I ever do what I should be doing? Oh my gosh. How's your wife, Marzipan? Where's my bestie? Is she sleeping? She's your wife, man. Thought about that? She doesn't, like, there's no rush. There's no rush for her. It's just wondering how she's doing. Used in a stronghold compasses whose star strainer. You know what, let's make a couple of these. I don't even know what they're good for, but let's make. I am wrecked. Nice. In a good
John
way.
the non-believer. John.
She has a new nickname. Best 4D wife. Sick. Sick. 4D waifu. Oh my god, man. Ducky! What up, Ducky? Hong Kong. We're gonna claim all these things. Get corn ale and canned lunch meat. We can make malt ale as well, but I don't know if I want to. Oh my gosh, the whole gang is here. Who would have thunk? I'm gonna get rid of that spoiled food. Let's see if we can't get rid of some of this. Alright, there we go. Right, they should be on a honeymoon. What are they even doing at home? That's how much of a game, they are such gamers. They're such gamers that their honeymoon is in front of the computer. It's gaming honeymoon right now. Not next year, it is now gaming honeymoon. Gaming moon. We got some corn. Petunias. I probably should harvest these fuckers. Do I have more? No. Yeah, for fuck's sake. We're on our honeymoon on Hawaii, but we brought our computers. Gotta get priorities straight. Honestly, sounds dope. Hawaiian honeymoon with some hardcore gaming. I'm gonna clear this. Yeah, who needs petunias? I'm gonna check here. Corn! 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 I'm gonna repeat planning. Repeat planning. Insufficient corn seeds? Your mom's an insufficient corn seed. Way too hot on Hawaii. Yeah, no, I feel that. I'm gonna water the petunias. I mean, like, if we have them, why not? Get some saffron here. I should get like auto watering system soon though. Just got cancelled by my therapist. Is that what she sung in the song? Not gonna lie, that's kind of hardcore. Getting cancelled by your therapist. I love this function that you can just repeat planting. So whatever you planted just now, you can just repeat it. Oh my gosh. But you're wrecked, bestie? How come you're wrecked? You tired still from the wedding? Is that why? Layered galaxy. Alright, interesting. We're gonna do stuff. We're gonna do so much stuff. You don't even know. You don't even understand how much we're gonna do. We're gonna get rid of the salt here as well. Hexus items. We're going to put this in here. Oh shit, I had salt here. Never mind. Got 71. Of course, I was going to have, that was such a big day with the whole perversion. Now it's all done. Yeah, right? I remember before me and the wife got married, I told her that, like, oh, come on! Thank you, X-Gamer. Hello. Balls. Oh, yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Ouchies. The fuck was that? You get 10, because I'm not feeling too good. Oh my gosh. Hello, hello. Body hurts after that big dress and heels. I get that. Oh, thank you. So nice of you, bestie. I want to know what love is. I need to know what is weighing so much. Oh, okay. All the resources. Wait, what is that text? What do you mean, what is that text? What is what text? You look beautiful. Wait, since DrVem has done more push-ups than required, they're allowed to skip the next 10 push-ups. Oh no! The AI has... wait, set push-ups. Then it's 1625. There we go. The bot must have died while we were away. There we go. Yeah, I ain't done all those push-ups yet. It's very true. It's bullshit. Wait, where's my big box man? Hey, box man. You can grab that. You can grab that. You can have that. That. You can grab the mushroom seeds too. Sure, why not? That's it. You're not getting any more stuff. Yeah, sure. Come on. Just trust me, Ducky. I'm a trustworthy man. I'm pretty and trustworthy. I'm beautiful and trustworthy. We're gonna grab this. I'm gonna get rid of that. There we go. Bot was too lonely too long and died. That sounds so sad. Poor bot. Alright, I don't even know what to do now. We've done some repairs. Could we calibrate our weapons more? Calibrate the gloves more. Like stone pans. Oh, we need more engineering plastic. And we need more metallic fiber. Gotcha. Alright. So, I've been playing One's Human for a little while. I've gone quite a ways away. I'm set up here on a mountain next to nobles. We got Flaming Nips, Score, Lunar, Call Me, Samwise, and Little Pixie over there. So we're all like, the whole hive is gathered here. I'm doing search for the bug hive because it wanted me to do the level 50 tasks, but I'm just level 38, so I'm thinking I'm just gonna do side missions and shit. And stuff that is on my level, basically. Is it 26? Hell yeah. The Halo War Bond is going to release today, and all the Xbox players will get into the war against Super. There's a Halo War Bond? Of course there is. God damn, man. But that's Helldivers, right? If I'm not misremembering. Ooh, would you like to adjust settings? Yes. Super resolution, ultra performance, balance, quality, ultra performance, DLA, Blah. Render scale. Let's see if that works. Everything on low. New settings applied. Ooh, does not look good at all. And there's delay in everything. No, 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 no. This is not good at all, no. We can do ultra performance. There we go. Oh, that's much better. Whee. Just saying, PlayStation Studios game collabs with Xbox is so fucking huge too. Yeah, oh, for sure it is, man. For sure it is. They don't really ever collab. Oh, hello, Mary. Do you have a little lamb?
I'm glad you found me. I discovered something quite interesting.
I don't want to see it for myself.
Nearby with an
Oh
unusual
wait,
name.
that I
It must
might.
belong to the make. We should take a look. I'll mark it on your map.
A bunker? Harvester's Market. It's like a mission concerning the market. It's interesting. Yeah, like I said before, I should be preparing for a class I have in about 3 hours, but here I am. I'm probably just gonna like stream for another 2 hours and then prepare for class. I'm really not feeling awesome today. Hey, what up, Severin7? A woman in white left me a message for you, saying she'd like you to experience a place full of joy and wealth. That's my butthole. A woman in white? Never seen that. A message? Check over there yourself. Alright. Head to the first location mentioned in the message. Maybe not. But you are awesome. Hope you know that. I am awesome. Yay. And this game is gonna get your mood up or just pause the hard stuff? It's gonna get my mood up. And pause the hard stuff for a bit. So, you know. Two fur. And Marzipan and the Alvi are both playing Warframe, I assume. Oh my gosh, Ducky's finally back pain free. Fucking yes, Ducky. Fucking awesome. Jesus. How does that feel, not having any pain for the first time in a good long while? That is insane, yo. Boop, boop, boop. X-Gamer is having his first lesson at 10:20 today. Wow. Luxury. Her. My gosh. Sorry, I'm just amazed that Ducky finally is pain-free, somewhat.
Excellent.
Slept all day today? Nice. Nice. That's some good sleep.
I don't know, but there's only one.
Yeah, we are all so happy for you, Ducky. Investigate the bunker. Oh. By the way, like when I went over to this server, the American server with Nobles and Pixie in them, Nobles gave me a bunch of his weapons. So I'm just copying his build here, because apparently you can have like status builds and shit in this game. So as you can see, I have a frost build. That is so good. Just means I'm a pincushion every 3 months. I mean, I'll take a pincushion every 3 months over having pain, right? Tomorrow I begin at 12:40. I mean, that's because they have the time to do gymnasiearbetet. Oh right, yeah. Oh man, it's insane to think that you're starting your senior year in high school now, ex-gamer. Look at my cute hat. It's the hat's eyes are moving as well.
Looks like a make.
I feel like I'm not appreciating this game enough because I just skip all the story stuff.
I guess you weren't the only one here who need to hold.
I just want to show y'all. Look, my hat. The eyes move. You seeing that? The eyes move. It's beautiful. Alright, I don't know what to do now. We're gonna loot the fuck out of this. Ooh, we got some saffron. Saffron is important for some legendary foods I've gathered. I got an air conditioner. Defeat the vultures. Oh, they're down here. I have a new deviant as well. It's pretty fucking good. Because whenever it kills something, it creates another copy of itself. Is the audio delayed? And that's annoying if it is. Shouldn't be.
Mayflies gathered here.
I'm such a good host.
They tried to raid
Because I took care of our guests. Confidential documents. I will take documents confidential. Search for the bug hive. What if I don't wanna? Storage crates. Mine is fine. Nice. Oh, nice. We got some aloe. That's really important as well. I need aloe seeds. Because of how often Nobles burns me. It's fixed now? Nice. That makes me happy. Makes me so fucking happy. Ask Hot Dog and Grey Water about the whereabouts of the Mayfly. I'll do that one. You're on your way to the train? Aw, man. Feel sorry for you. Fuck a train. No, I know you like trains. Honestly, who doesn't like a train? Choo choo. Chugga choo, chugga choo, chugga choo, chugga choo, choo choo. Alright, we're gonna eat this cake. I like turtles. Turtles. I've heard of him. Never been on a train, Ducky? Whoa. Whoa, I say. That's tomato seeds. Pup buddy. No. No, we're gonna grab this one, see if I can. No, that's not for mine. I need to see if I can modify accessories magazine. That's right. Doesn't have any magazine. New tactics, optics, muscle. Alright. What up, Fasu Sasu, whose ass has he been sniffing to get a nickname, dog? In USA, the rail network is so bad. One of the reasons why people drive a lot there. I've heard that as well. I've never been on the trains in the US either. What up, Fasu? Oh yeah, we get a shout out to Fasu Sasu. He's been playing a lot of Wild Rift again. Every time I log on and lurk in Fasu's stream now, he's playing Wild Rift, and he's really mad that the ADCs suck ass. This week is vacation? Nice. Nice. Every Monday. I like you're just catching you every Monday, is that... Because in my mind, whenever I log in, it's Wild Rift. Misa's loot crate. I can just buy a fuck ton of acid. What am I gonna need the acid for, though? No. We're all good. Hey, what up, sad Jason 5? That's on here. Started Dark Souls 2 on there. Dude. How the fuck can you do Dark Souls? Dark Souls just the pure, just the mention of Dark Souls makes me feel sad. Because I think it's such a tough game. Mary has some new intel. Instead of Mary had a little lamb, Mary has some new intel. I'm just saying, if I wake up early, I might as well just get to school and have time to work on stuff I need. That's true. That's true. Or you can wake up early and play games. No, you should probably work on school stuff. Don't let me corrupt you. Played Death Stranding 2 on Saturday on my birthday. Game was cutscene. Oh, you had your birthday, man? Congratulations. The game has a cutscene when you play it on your birthday. Dude, it's wonderful. I love a game that incorporates real life stuff like that. 34. You and me are the same age. I'm 34 as well.
I admit, I followed some leads in that book.
But I turned 34 earlier this summer. Me and Fasu, the 1991 gang. You're... Bestie's also 34. Or turning 34. Rather. She's technically still 33. Where my 90s kids at, yo? Ooh. We're gonna go there. We're gonna do a defense thingy. My dad just turned 50 like 2 weeks ago. 50's such a fucking milestone, though. A strange empty house. I don't care about a strange empty house. Fuck off with that shit. Not right now, at least. That's a nice looking house, though. Whee! Vroom, 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 vroom. Vroom, 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 vroom. You're gonna jump in. Come on. There we go. What the fuck? What happened? Oh, okay, it's a cutscene. Fucking bird. Oh, it's actually. Oh, it's a trap, right? Roar. Roar. I'm a monster. Roar.
Yes, that is exactly what you've gone and done. Not that I need to thank you for inviting me to your safe haven. Without you, could I have met the end?
What?
I am sorry it's come to this. So now, a sacrifice.
Time for you to die again. Excuse you. I'm never dying. The Butcher. Yeah, that dude is so dead. Not even a fucking challenge. Okay, so Mary turned out to be evil. Guess we gotta murder Mary. Yeah, before we do that, we're gonna go in here and... Are we gonna do this? No, I don't care for it. Audio delayed again. But yeah, Twitch mobile is not the best. Hydrates. Alright. Thanks yous for the hydrates.
Made it out in one piece. If
What do we do now?
Creating monsters like that, well, taking on another transcendent is the
Right, because like as far as I understand from this game, Rosetta is like they're the evil corporation. They've been creating these monsters. The monsters that I'm fighting all the time, and apparently Mary is one of the people who's working with Rosetta. And that's not very nice. Very. Oh, nice saffron. Saffron is important for cooking. And when you pick saffron, sometimes you get saffron seeds. I'm just gonna pick some flowers. Flowers! I'm gonna pick some saffron flowers! Yay! Safflowers! I've missed streaming, I gotta say. We've been away for a week now. It's been so good though. Like, being able to celebrate Bestie's bachelorette was super fun. The wedding was top tier. Fucking loved that wedding. So much fun. Crazy how saffron is worth more than gold, right? I don't know if it's like that in this game though. It's boring without your lives, right? Me and Bestie, we are the reason people wake up in the morning. Has Bestie been posting pictures in her Discord? I haven't been on Discord in a while either, so. Some, but not a lot. I'm not gonna post any pictures from the bachelorette party, I promise. Maybe just one of your outfit on the day. Maybe. Who knows? What you haven't sent are really good though. What you have sent are really good. Happy for you too. Oh my god, they were so beautiful live on the day. It was insane. It was like one of the best things as well was to see how Bestie really felt super beautiful. Like it's so much fun when you see someone else just feeling their best, you know? It's nice AF, as the kids say. I don't know if the kids say that. I'm just being a silly little goose. Where do you want me to go? Up here? To the Blackfell oil fields? Alright. We're gonna teleport to that tower then. Alright. This is the Operation Chiron, high risk. I don't even know what that is. Right. It's tracking this one. Forbidden Island. Talk to Mayor Trent. Thing is, like, all of these are too high level for me. Eternal Land, I don't even know how to go to Eternal Land. Follow V's guidance to reach Eternal Land's weird space. Let's summon V. Challenge shop? No. Open Wikipedia. Haha, that actually works. Love that it's just like, oh, do you want to talk to Wikipedia? Fuck off. Eternal Land.
And I got to say, that's what I appreciate about you.
After reaching accept the Realm of Nightmares quest from Hot Dog and Grey Order Camp. Speak to Low and Grey Order Camp to gain access to Eternal Land. Starting from the season's second phase. Oh, come on. What I think I've done is Eternal Land. There we go. Enter Eternal Land. I don't even know what this is. But I know it's a quest.
Not much to look at.
It's not much to look at. What do we do now?
Take a look around, I guess. Figure out if this on the way over here. I noticed a building in the center of the island. Let's head there first.
Just switch to nearby channel. Eternal Land is an independent space unaffected by scenario shifts. Space-time backpack is used to store items from past scenarios and apples from Eternal Land.
This place feels peaceful. I can't sense any stardust, nomadics, anything. It's like we're frozen in time.
Cool. So I don't have any inventory now. Yeah. Alright, yeah. So you're at the Eternal Land. Backpack. You can equip most items on hard for reset with dragging and dropping. Yeah. Gotcha. Cool.
Thank you, Meta.
Gotta go. CX Gamer, thanks for checking in. Have fun at school.
I can't. Very much so. Anyone
you what. Let's start by And now?
Sell supplies to earn astral sand. I got 50,000 astral sands though. I'm selling masala.
With that done, we can build whatever we like. Maybe you could start with the roof.
Alright, cool. This is a cute place though. Build a new structure for the house. Why can't I fucking... Oh, come on. There we go. Tell Mitsuko about the construction of the house. Hey, Mitsuko! The house is constructed.
Astral sand. Give it a shot.
Try planting a tree. Eternal Land. Beach one. Special student once building can be set as teleportation to a respawn point on the island. Okay. Cool. Proper place. You're gonna place a here. Leave Eternal Land. There we go. Leave Eternal Land. Confirm. Alright. I don't even know what Eternal Land is properly, except like it's a place you can just chill out, I guess. I don't want to be that guy, but it sounds real boring. Why would you want to go to Eternal Land? We're gonna go for lethal threats. Let's see, Stellar Stairway. Ooh, what up, Snoosen? Snooze's life. Ja men hallå Snusen. Hur mår det? Välkommen till min shot. What's up, Mr. Snooze? Or Mrs. Snooze? Or Person Snooze? I don't fucking know you. What's happening? Oh my gosh. Person Snooze. Yep. That's you now. Person Snooze. Is there a new job?
Hey.
As long as the pay is good. Yeah, I don't care.
Actually, I'm trying to.
I just, honestly, I just want
Payment
quests.
last. Although it's too bad. People say. Exactly.
Do you have any more quests? No. Cool. Awesome. Lethal threat. We're gonna go to lethal threats. Cause we're badass, so if we see a quest called lethal threat, we're gonna get it. Vroom, 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 vroom. Alright, someone turned off the gravity again. Whee! Alright. Execute. Sick. Orion, avenge Orion. What the fuck is a lucky cat? Here you go. Don't tell my brother. Cool. Oh, shut up, Klein. Hey, cause he's the guy who was the bad guy before. Like, he merged with a thing.
Trapped. You're stuck in Klein's subconscious.
Oh no. Alright. Escape? Yeah, I'm gonna try to.
No one can leave this place. Struggle all you like. You're trapped here now.
This is a fun mission. I mean, I hate the ones where it's oh, it is.
Let's find him by
No,
following
okay.
the sound of his coughs.
Let's find him by following the sound of his coughs. How? Okay, I gotta follow his coughs while also listening to music. Cough for me, baby. That's a bloody angel. Oh. Did not know that there would be baddies here as well. What the fuck? What do you mean immune?
Did you think you succeeded? It's useless.
Come on. That will hunt you throughout the maze? Oh, come on. Take out Klein and get out of here. Yeah, I'm gonna try to. God fucking damn it. Thank you, Ducky. Yeah, it disappeared. You know what? Let's do lefties from here on out. Nope. Die, Klein.
Are you enjoying this game of cat and mouse? Keep running like a worm.
Keep running like a worm? I mean, Klein, not to be that guy, but worms don't run. You're fucking stupid, man. He's a little idiot, isn't he? Oh, big dog. Hello?
Hello.
Oh man. Yeah, I'm definitely getting sick. My ears are hurting. They're like pulsating with pain. Balls. Fuck you, Mr. Cthulhu wannabe.
In this room, I am the sole creator.
Oh,
Don't even think
this is a really nice looking room. It's an elevator. Oh. No, that's not creepy at all. Escape? What if I don't want to escape? Maybe I really like it here. Wait. Rawr. Thought I heard coughing. Alright, interesting. Seems like the game is lagging every now and then, like it's cutting out. Somewhere around here. Yeah. Ah! Balls! He's in here. Right, I'm really close. There we go.
I can't stay at your side anymore.
Strange door.
Ryan.
Cool. Yeah.
Where's my mother?
Fine.
Where's your mom?
Calm down, okay? You know your mom has some trouble walking. There's nothing we could do.
Nope.
What the hell do you mean? What happened?
We ran into her.
Uh,
She couldn't keep up with the group, and I couldn't risk everyone else's lives.
let's grab
just-
this. Let's grab
He's a
that.
good hunting dog. He'll lead me right
I don't know what else to say.
Let's grab this.
Mother didn't make it.
We're gonna eat.
Can't
Nom,
allow
nom,
you
nom,
to
nom,
go
nom,
out
nom.
and risk your life for nothing.
You're too weak to stay leader.
Thanks for the help,
Joey.
Snoozum.
Too weak to save my mom. You're too weak to stop me now. I'm going.
You're just too weak to save my mom. Oh my gosh.
We finally escaped from Klein's
I don't get
subconsciousness.
it.
All that stuff we saw must have been Klein's past. Must have been. Everything that happened after Starfall. No wonder he turned out so cold-blooded. Look at him, though. Maintaining that subconscious
At least
space
tall
was
grass
too
is
much
safe
for him.
from him now.
His
True.
tall grass is safe from him now.
Inform Claire of the situation.
Give Claire the news.
I'm thinking that I'm just gonna like do a bunch of quests and then turn them in. That's usually how I do it. Let's see here, tasks. So that one is just inform Claire. Talk to T-Man near Securement Alpha. Ooh, but that's fun. I haven't done Securement Silo Alpha yet. This is my first scenario, yeah. Like, I think a year ago or something, I tried playing this game, didn't fully understand it, didn't get into it, so I was like, oh fuck it, I have other games to play. And now this year, my friend Noble's TV got real into it, and I was like, you know what? Maybe I can join his American server and his hive. And all of a sudden I'm actually playing the game. So I barely know anything about this game. Oh, come on. That's mean. Did the exact same thing, played 10 minutes last year. My friend comes to start up again and I'm second scenario. Nice. Nice. Good to know I'm not the only one. I'm so used to playing like Skyrim and stuff. It's just like, oh, this is a mountain. You're not supposed to go here. I'm like, that's just a suggestion. Hiya! Oh, balls. Yes, nice. All right. Oh my gosh, saffron? Hardly knew him. Ooh, blueberries as well. Actually need blueberries. ¿Dónde está la blueberries? Clem that sheet. I'm not surprised it was Nomos that got you into it, right? He gets me into everything, if you know what I mean. Including his bum. No, that's... I'm not allowed in there anymore. Let's see. Whee! Ooh, I could build like a thing up here. Could build a base here, right? Looks cool up here. Wow! Oh yeah! Woo! I love low gravity. Haha! Backflip, front flips. I'm just flipping out, baby. Oh my gosh. We got this teleportation tower down. Nice. We're gonna get that teleportation tower. If you're doing an elemental build, you should be collecting saffron and bellflower seeds. Plant them to get deviated saffron, regular bellflower, craft whimsical drink. Nice. Yeah, I'm collecting saffron like a crazy person. I'm only doing frost build because my friend Nobles is doing a frost build, and I was like, well, that sounds cool. And seems dope. Blueberry. But I kind of also just want to, like, I want to be able to make legendary food. And start selling that on the market. Yeah, I've been collecting saffron a whole lot. Started growing... I can grow like one thing of saffron and in my base. But that's about it for now. We had no idea what we were doing when we started, and I bought the MPS-7 Outer Space from the Wish machine and still play with it. Nice. The only thing I knew that I really wanted was the thing every person who plays a game like this wants, and that's the Masamune. Fucking katana. Ooh, potato. Gotta have a katana. It's cool. Oh, look, aluminium ore. I hate that they have the American spelling though. Aluminum ore. Because it's clearly aluminium. Every other language, it's aluminium. The fucking periodic table calls it aluminium. I used that for a while, but I hardly use melee anymore. I only use melee when it's like close quarters indoors, and even then, barely. Like I haven't calibrated my sword in forever, because why would I, you know? Sounds funny. Like it's aluminium, just like it's uranium. Where germanium. It's a it's a periodic table thing. It's not up for debate with different languages. But Americans be like, nah, those extra vowels. Uranum. Uranum, that's radioactive piss. That's uranum. Oh. Ad is over. Welcome back, ad viewers. I fucking hate that Twitch forces you to have ads. If you're monetized, you gotta have ads. And they're like, oh, either you have pre-roll ads, which, fuck that shit. Nobody wants to watch a channel if the first thing you're met by is ads. Or you gotta have these, 3 minutes of ads every hour. And sometimes you just gotta bite the bullet. Gotta love when we used to install games and had to choose language and said simplified English. I don't even remember it saying simplified English, but I do remember it saying American English or British English. Someone's watching me? I always feel like somebody's watching me. Oh, look at this. No, I don't want to. Fuck off. There's some weapon crates here. Who's shooting at me? Star Advent loot crate. Your crocodile skin. Love that you get skins here as well. Like, not weapon skins, I guess, but... Wait, is this a securement silo and a thingy? Gotta activate the rift anchor. I'm just gonna get that done. I'm playing on a North American server, Manibus. World 1. Yeah, I never would have picked the North American one if it wasn't for the fact that my American friends are playing here. But it's so weird as well, because like I was on a European one before, and it was laggy as fuck. And ever since I migrated to the American one, like my MS, you can see it up there, MS is in the hundreds. But no lag. It's really weird. It's so fucking weird. Dead. But I was also so annoyed because, like, first I was on the EU servers. I got to like level 25 or something. I was like, feeling pretty good about myself. I was doing all the side missions before the main missions, getting so much stuff. I was like, yeah, this is good. This is cool. And then to change servers, I had to start over with a whole new character. And that got me sad. Hey, what up, T-Man? How you doing, T-Man? I have a shitty computer, so it will lag even more on North American. Yeah, no, I get that. I don't care, T-Man. Just give me the fucking mission and let me go in there. Let's go. Clear securement silo alpha. Details. Level 35. Recommended 1 player. So good. That's me. Oh my lord. Alright, we're just gonna run in. Testicles! Jesus Christ. Oh, fuck's sake! Why did you do this? This was not very nice. Luxury watch. Nice. Alright. Watch out for the claymores. Sorry. Yeah, how could you not warn me? Oh my gosh. Worst viewer ever. Not warning me about stuff that I should keep a lookout for. How could you? Excuse you. There we go. Oh, by the way, Snoosen, if you want to cue a song or anything, the command is in the title. You just like play and then you post the Spotify link if you want to listen to any specific song. I saw that Frost is getting a buff in the next patch. Well, that's fucking amazing for me. I didn't even know that. Honestly, for me, it was just like, I saw how much damage Frost did on Noble's character, and I was like, well, that's, I'm doing this then. Like, I tried to do the Ricochet ones for a little while, but I don't know if I probably didn't have the right build for it. Level up. Nice. can. Who puts a luxury watch in a trash can, though? The fuck? In the storage... Food in the storage cabinet? Alright, whatever. Disinfectant, stockings. I mean, why would they buff Frost? It feels like Frost is like the most OP build there is right now. Because, like, I shoot, I get a Frost Crystal, and then I shoot the Frost Crystal, and it shoots out target seeking, like it'll target enemies automatically. I don't even have to do anything about it. And it does insane amounts of damage. Like, why would they buff that? The set of V3 card access. Power Surge builds, in my opinion, the best starter build. There's a ton of OP builds. Like, I don't know a lot about the builds per se. Like, the only thing I know is that, like, yeah, there are weapons that have effects, and then you have armors that have, like, that boost those effects. And I understand that there are some mods that boost effects as well, so like you can combine them that way, but other than that, I don't know too much about it. I need to get better at understanding the builds. Alright, also gotta get better at finding out where the fuck I'm going next. Molotov cocktail. It's the only cocktail I drink is the one by Molotov. Oh, actually, I'm not feeling good at all. I feel like shit. Oh, here's something. Rosetta V3 access card. Hello. Ooh. Too much drinking this year. I mean, probably. Too much drinking, too much dancing, too much yelling and singing, honestly. That's just the way it is sometimes, you know? Sometimes, especially if your best friend is getting married, you just get a party like there's no tomorrow. Now, the question is, which one of these is like the containment unit for the... Ah, shit! Oh, thanks for the follow, Snoosen. This has to be... No. Alright, wait. Oh my gosh. Wait, I can go down here as well. Right. Oh, fuck off, bestie. Oh, you're such an asshole. Ouch. My whole body is hurting too. One, two. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Ouch. Ouch. You get 10 push-ups from me. That's it. It's your own damn fault. That's true. 16, 18, what the fuck? Okay. The right way if you just want to do the cell normal left door. And spawn that you need power surge. Alright. So I don't have power surge, so I won't be able to spawn it. Thanks for the info, Snoozen. Appreciate you, man. So it's just right here. Locate and destroy the deviated items. I haven't found the other deviated items. I feel stupid for not having found them. Speaking of... Ooh, look at this. Die, Major Dutch the Third. New cradle override node unlocked. Nice. Securement silo cleared. Claim rewards, then leave. Oh, here's the reward. I'm gonna run up here, see what's up here. Oh, just just goes up again. Nice. All right, cool. Now I can't walk out and fuck off then. That's some bullshit. That's kind of stupid. Like, you should be able to exit the way you came in. Yeah, I want to leave. Completed battle solo. You just click escape and oh, that's fucking true. I'm an idiot. Such a fucking idiot. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. It's me, Dutch has been taken care of.
Yes, I know. Good job taking it. That's if you were approaching a suspect before you had all the evidence.
Punisher.
That's alright.
Something's wrong with Mr. T, I
My
think.
business here is finished. You
Is
keep
that a
working
fucking
till
Coke
you
bottle he has? Yeah. Just attached to his head. It's so weird.
And his Sheriff, it seems that Sheriff Chandler is quite pleased with you, Sheriff. This
Sheriff DrVem. There's me. Hello, guard captain. Oh, so there's like a cap of how much you can make. No, fuck off. It was so good. Alright. We're going up and in. If... Ah! Smack. I think that's kind of badass. Oh, I can't enter here. That's annoying. Oh, you do you, Snoozin. I love a good lurk. There's even a lurk command. I appreciate you helping out. I appreciate it a whole lot. I got a redwood chair. Nice. Let's see. Has to be like a way to go. Get further up, right? Yes. Here we go. This is storage container. Feels like there's gonna be stuff in here, right? Like it seems like a big fucking place. We just need 2 more things though. It's like weapon and or gear crates and a mystical crate. And the mystical crate is usually like some place that's logical for it to be. Like in the big ass building over there. I murder it all. I am the murderer. You can call me Murder Man. The way I murder. Oh shit. No, see? Just need a V2 access card. It's all good. Is that a gear crate as well? Yeah. Dude. It's like if you have an access card, you can just finish the whole place by entering here. It's kind of cool. Ah. Control units. Got a wetsuit. Ew, why isn't it dry? It feels like there's gonna be way more loot in there, right? But I am done with it. Right. Claire. Near securement silo EX1. Enter Breezy Shores Resort. Right, this sounds so cute. Ancient One's Trial. Not interesting. Alright. But I hate this teleportation station because it's just... You know, we're gonna go to the West Gaia teleportation tower and we're gonna teleport to Tallgrass Inn instead. Emma Porter. Oh wait, could actually just, yeah, turn
Nice
this
job.
in if we're here.
So, thank you.
Lethal threat. Andreas. Cool. I'll grab a mission if I can. Sure. Jeremiah. Are you Jeremiah? No, you were Chef Huang. Where's Jeremiah? Okay, now we don't have a Jeremiah here. Interesting. Interesting, princess. Oh, come on. I have a friend who sends me these reels by... Like, it's just people on TikTok and Instagram making cringe content. And they always pretend to be like... Wait, where's Jeremiah? You, Jeremiah? Oh, you're number 27. They're always like Discord moderators, full-time, calling people kitten and so on. I both love and hate it because I think it's disturbing, but it's also super funny. Isn't Jeremiah a bullfrog? That I don't know. Well, what show, what series, what movie, what book? I ran over some deer. Ample sunlight. How about an ample bosom then? Referencing the song. Don't even know the song about Jeremiah. Or is it the song we're listening to? Because I can barely hear the lyrics. Let's go. We're just going over there. It's gonna go so well. Starts Jeremiah was a bullfrog. Don't even know that song. flower. But I'm an uneducated heathen, Ducky. Gaia military base. I'm gonna grab the teleportation tower over there as well. Ooh, some wheat. Damn, you're fast. Alright. There has to be a way up here, right? Yeah. Nice. Teleportation unlocked. Alright, we're going to the securement silo now. Looked it up, the song is called Joy to the World. Wait, joy to the world, our Lord is come. Jeremiah is a bullfrog. Is that it? No, that's not. That doesn't feel like it's correct. Feels like I'm fucking something up here. Man, this is a pretty game. If it's way down there, how am I gonna get to it? Oh yeah. The game's just like, and you jump. Get absolutely fucked. Yeah. Let's see. I'm gonna drink a beer. And we're gonna grab some canned meats. Jeremiah was a bullfrog, was a good friend of mine, never understood a single word he said. Sir, I haven't heard the song, but goddammit, that is good. He was a good friend of mine, never understood a word he said. I'm getting emails. I'm getting so many messages. Oh my gosh, I'm so popular. Wait, did I talk to T-Man? Let's exit the dungeon real quick. Sing joy to the world, all the boys and girls, joy to the fishes in the deep blue sea, joy to you and me. Nope, nothing I remember.
course. Oh, I almost... No, nothing like that. It's simply that, while it's... But don't you trouble... Even if Mr...
What? Yeah, no, I'm sorry.
Although the bounty case file has all the information, feel free to chat with our friends if you like. Customer satisfaction comes first, after all.
In the US, maybe, but in the United Nations of Europe, we are a little bit different. No, actually reacted to me having medals on me and shit. So gonna have some lights. There we go, you're dead. Is it like a kid's song, or is it like a song by an actual band? Yay, elevator. Ooh, I feel like shit. Wonderful. I think kid like song by Three Dog Night. Never heard. I'm not cool enough, I guess. Haha, you're locked in. Yeah, that's right. Oh, okay. They opened up. Should have figured. Ouch. I gotta keep an eye out more often. I'm getting too relaxed with this game. Yeah, you got a V3 access card. Sorry. Alright, that's an access card. And this requires an access card. Maybe I can use both. We'll see. Yep. Nice. Alright. Now we know that. There should be an extra boss somewhere around here then. Oh, okay, it was just a loot room. Nice. Dope. Love extra loot. Flats. Alright, so I've already fucked up one special deviated item, but I didn't even see it. See? So many good dogs. Kitty doggies. Maybe that's where we're supposed to go. We're gonna inspect everything first. What is these? Gunpowder. You feel hot? Oh, because there was a fire there. Alright, we're definitely supposed to go through here. You just hear people dying. And get some XP, some asterisms. Oh? Let's see what that is. Ouch. Why am I stuck? It's like red light, green light thing. Right? It's literally a red light, green light game here. And I assume that if I move while it's red, I get sent back to the very beginning. What the fuck is this? Alright, he's immune to that. I can't walk up there. That's immune as well. I can't move now either. Alright, so there's still some red light, green light shit here. Okay. So alright, it's not over yet. I don't know how I kill him. Ah, okay, yep, we hit the lights. That's why you want to go up here. Jeez, this is gonna take forever though. Alright, we're just gonna stay here. Like 100% we're gonna destroy the lights, and then he's gonna release all the dudes in here, and it's gonna be like the second phase of it. Nice. Alright. Another light down. Alright, so you opened some of these cells already. Oh my god. It's gonna take a while, I think. Alright. At least we're on our way. We got it going. Damn, that is a lot of ammo I had to spend. Come on. shit. Come on. Come on. Nice. There we go. And I'm now level 40. Fucking sweet. Atomic lighter. That took a little while though. 15 minutes. I bet like 10 minutes of that was the boss fight itself. Yep. No, fuck off. What up, T-Man?
I knew I could count on you, Mayfly. Yes.
There we go. And, by the way, I have to say...
All that perished. Trigger prohibition? No. Oh wait, so they're not like level based? The fuck? That's annoying. Something happened on my phone. Nothing important though. Farmside Frights, level 34. Got Strange Empty House is for 35. Hostile Atmosphere 35. Requiem is 39. It feels more our speed. But first, we gotta head home. Oh my gosh. Got an ad in coming in about 3 minutes as well, gang. Nova deviations. Let's see. Storage resonator. Copper. Do I need that one? Steel. Nice. Don't use that really. Gonna get rid of those. Get rid of those. Fuck all these mods. I only want legendary mods, don't I? There we go. Repair everything. Oh, come on. Really? That's fucking annoying. I don't even know how to make leftovers. Let's go. All my armor is fully calibrated. Weapon is fully calibrated. Nice. Alright. Let's see what we need to craft. We need to craft steel rifle. Ammo. I'm gonna make a shit ton of gunpowder. definitely want heal booster fertilizer. Make a couple fuses. Just because I, like, in my mind, we probably need some fuses sometime, somewhere. Storage battery. Right. Uno 2 by Viagra Boys? What the fuck is this, man? What did you cue? What did you cue, man? Saffron seed, sage, blue petunia, mushroom, hawthorn, wheat, orange. It's a banger. Alright, I'll trust you. I'll trust you, friend. I gotta find, hey, you're the one I was looking for. You're the one that I want. Securement unit? Where is that one, though? Which one? There it is. I'm gonna put more shit into you. What is this? So far I think it's beautiful. I've never listened to them before. Snoosen added them. I'm not to blame for this or to give credit for. Hey, what up, Nick Big? Almost had a very bad joke. You'd never say a bad joke. This is Hubs' favorite. Oh my gosh. That doesn't surprise me though. I'm gonna buy the snow camo gloves because they are fucking amazing. It is actually Mrs. Bestie now. I'll have you know. She's now an honorable woman. Finally. Alright. I'm not saying a bad joke, I think I'll get banned for it. Wait, no, that depends, yeah. Some jokes you are not allowed to say. Because they're not jokes, they are just disturbing. That's dirty water. No, we need the sugar actually. There we go. And then we can just press G. Put this away. Put that away. I'm gonna put this away too. I feel like Snoosen is a bad influence here. Or he's in the entirely correct sphere of influence. I have keyword suffix mod. Okay. Frost Vortex mod pro, obviously. Oh my gosh. Well, I'm gonna mod the fuck out of some stuff. Did I get a new cradle, by the way? Oh, cool. Fuck yeah. I'm gonna equip this one. I'm cool. Personally, I think it's funny as fuck, but you never know with Twitch. What a hat, right? It's beautiful. The hat is the best thing about this character. I just want to sit on the couch with you and eat Skittles. Aw.
Sean the non-believer. Sean.
Seed self-selection crates? Confirm. What do we want? We want some bellflower seeds, I heard. Wait, we need like one bellflower seed and one moral seed. Oh, but aloe vera too. We got saffron seeds. Alright, here we go. Air conditioner. Bullshit. Orb lightning. Strange door. I don't even know what to do with those. Oh yeah, I feel super cool now. I'm just gonna place a fuck ton of boxes here. Yeah, we're gonna grab the purified water. I'm gonna get rid of the masala. Who even wants pickled cucumber? Come on. Pickled cucumber, more like pickled cuck. Strange doors allow you to craft a door you can place in your base. Use them to teleport from different locations. Oh, that's cool. That is cool, though. If I don't hear you say I'm really fucking pretty, I'm gonna go down to Spiral City. Wow. Don't remind me again today, please. Do you have a day off today, Nick? Or are you sick again? You're not allowed to be sick. No, I said you're not allowed to be sick, so stop that. Good boy. Low lighting? Really?
Welcome to All Things Scottish. Our slogan is, if it's no Scottish, it's crap!
What up, Stony? We're gonna plant some aloe. What up, what up? trying. Try harder, Nick. Get real fucking not sick right now. Let's see here. We're gonna plant a fuck ton of saffron. Repeat. 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 Insufficient saffron seeds. Alright, how about moral? And wheat? Stony. Bird.
Birdie.
I am
Birdie,
finally
birdie.
back. This is how it is. This is the truth. What up, good guy? Good guy recently had a birthday. Congratulations. And good guy's just a wonderful person. So there's that. We're gonna he's streaming as well. If you're not following good guy, go fucking follow good guy. You should. I require it of you. You must. No. I'm not gonna force anyone. Ooh, my head hurts. Yeah, I'm not feeling too hot. I haven't been sick for a long while, but maybe it's time. Thing is, I'm like barely sick, but went to work yesterday and I shouldn't have. Ah, gotcha. No, I know that feeling. I know that feeling, bruv. It ain't funny. Trying to open a fridge opens a window instead. Excuse your painted window. We're gonna craft some Stardust energy drink. What we want to make is canned seafood in oil. And we need morals for that. Oh, Stardust. I have ice cubes, don't I? Withdraw ice. Corn ale. We're gonna make a fuck ton of that as well. And a fuck ton of malt ale. Iced tea. Beautiful. No, not from saffron. Goddamn. Dude. We can make it out of like something else. Can't make it out of hawthorn. I'm gonna make some of that. Craft ale, it's good. If you don't want to reduce sanity for 30 minutes. Yeah. Now that much I know. I have some ale. That's also why I keep planting corn. I feel like I need to make more purifiers. Right, exit build mode, structure, visibility settings. Thing is, like, the tilde there, the enter exit flight mode. I don't know where that is on my Swedish keyboard. So that's why it looks like this. Let's make another purifier. That's a water pump. That's a water pump. I want a compact water filter. Oh my gosh. Oh, thank you so much, Snoosen. How do I go down again though? Camera heights. Ah, there we go. Oh my gosh, that is so much better. You are such a lifesaver, Snoosen. Snoosen. Snoosen, den right then. Connect pipe over there. Attach wire. You can share a wire. Connect pipe. Pipe connect. Wait, can I, like, connect pipe? I can do this as well? Oh my gosh, that is so awesome. Alright, fucking game changer, man. Yeah, right? Definitely so much easier. Alright, let's see here. We're gonna dirty water to just clean water, yeah. I need to make polluted water into impure acid sometime as well. No. Hydrate? Who do you think I am? Num 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 num. Alright, that's good stuff. Alright, I'm gonna grab automated irrigation. Fuck yes. I get 8 more ciphers and 18,000 of those. Increasing seed yield when the plant is fully mature. Scarlet calamus. Could do that. Large water filter. Kind of want that one, right? Feels like that might be even better than the one I have. We're gonna save. When you acquire electrical pylons, use that one to connect everything you have and then connect the pylons to your generators. If you have the generators connected to each other, it will make it easier. Yeah, I got one pylon here already. Thanks for the lark. Man, what a wonderful person. A real cutie patootie. How do I know which? Oh, okay. Here we go. Attach wire. Attach wire. There we go. And then we're gonna create a water tank probably over here, right? Gonna relocate you. Gonna be right next to the bar, and nobody likes that, but here we are. Such an airhead, no strength in my spine. Alright, and then we take this, connect the pipe to here, and we have connect the pipe to here. Is that better? Now it's all automated. Fucking yes. I might do something new for my streams if PC can handle. Buy a new VR headset today, so it might be some VR streams today or something. Oh, that's cool. Hopefully your PC can handle it, because that would be dope as fuck, man. Oh my gosh. Advanced supplies. This is intermediate, this is advanced supplies. Advanced gear. That's what I want, but I don't have tungsten and I don't have automatic parts. Right. I'd love a login platform as well. We'll try to build a login platform. Right around. How about here? Just a little login platform. Non-functional. We're gonna fix that, are we? Wire connected. Yeah. Login platform. Start gathering. Yeah. Oh, that's good. That's good. Alright, we're gonna go into the zero gravity game pod. Head to Silver Shore Resort. What if I don't wanna? That's a burp. Oh, nice. Enable flight mode. Repair motorcycle ones. Turn on grid snap switch. Oh, okay. That I could do. Alright, playing a video game in a video game. Yeah, right? That's my cook chair. You want a sneak peek of one of the photos I'm working on from the wedding? Oh, for sure, man. For sure. One thing I don't understand is why can't I repair it from here? Oh, never mind. I could. I'm an idiot, is what I am. Send in the DMs, my friend. What even is this vehicle? Meow! My throat hurts, so when I sneeze, the throat hurts. Fuck me. That sucks. Oh, fuck off with that. That's not fun. Let's see here. Mods. Armor mods. Head guard. Thank you, thank you. Head-on conflict. Nah, it's all good. Slow and steady. Melee weapon status damage plus 10%, 1 HP is above 90%. Oh no. How to hide a body? After getting 2 kills, refill 100% of your magazine from your reserves. Dope. 10 HP loss grants for melee weapon and status damage. I don't even know which one to take. Well, never mind then. Elemental overload. Baby metal. Bring me the horizon. Cool. Fucking love baby metal. Alright, Frosty Blessing. When Frost Vortex disappears, restore 10 HP. Equip. On. Yeah, 100%. I will. Just max number of force damage plus 1 frost damage. Oh my gosh. Oh, that one is better. I don't even have my DMs up. Wait. Me. There we go. Oh, that is a beautiful picture, man. Kiss, kiss. That is really well done, too. Nice. Well done. Vortex multiplier. Modify? No. I'm gonna enhance this fucker. There we go. Right. Cool. You've done 2 now? Out of I don't know how many. Nice though. A medic's cradle. Oh shit, right. I have a specialization node. Right. Unlock new formula art of Stardust Decay. Consume Stardust source to craft acid using the electric furnace. I have one thing that can produce acid just from money as well. Supplies workbench yield plus 30% crafting time minus 30 more crafting APM. No. Used to randomly receive the content of a settlement loot crate. Facility boost. Gatling cannon steel. No, I mean Art of Stardust Decay is the better one then. Think. Let's see how we make acid then. Alright, we can make a fuck ton of acid then. Guess. Rift anchors and or dream zones. Alright, making a ton of acid right there. Play League of Legends. No, I will not. Not again. Not for a while. I have had my butt handed to me in that game too many times for it to be fun right now. What are we doing? What up, cat? Head to Silver Shore Resort. Alright, now we're going over here. I'll head off for now, just woke. Just need to get my dairy. Yeah, do that. I'm probably gonna log off in about 20 minutes, though. Because it's toxic. Haha. But thanks for being here. I appreciate you. I'll stream tomorrow again, though. Don't you worry your little heads about that. The dock is back. Here to torture you and make you sad. I actually kind of want to do this one. It's a fucking trailer park, isn't it? American coffee tea. What makes it American? Apart from just like not just a normal coffee table. Does it have guns? Does it have room for guns? Is that why it's an American coffee table? Mother of life. I'm terribly sorry, Mother of life. Like, if you show up as an enemy, and I can kill you, best believe I'm gonna try to kill you. See? Alright, we got gear here. I really don't want this to have like an underground or anything. That's another paper doll. I really need to create like a vending machine in the market. I have so many unused deviants I need to get rid of. This is a nice song too. I wonder if someone queued it or if it's just automatically playing. Ow. Who's shooting at me? Ooh, that's a big fuck. That's the mythical crate over there. Alright. Wow, that's a pentagram. I did it, it was me. Of course it was you. You freak. Ah! Oh, come on. Don't be such a wimp. Oh, come on, fuck off! That felt uncalled for. It's never uncalled for. Calling you a degenerate or a pervert is never uncalled for. It's because it's always correct. This song great. Wonder if someone queued it. You're a freak. Yeah. I mean, I'm not wrong. I need to find another crate. That's why I'm not denying it, just saying it was uncalled for in the concept. Alright. I'll accept your premise and your argument. It's just a storage crate, get him. Sweeping robot. So come on. Get dead. I got a CPU. Cool. Some good music there. Golden Rain Tree. Baby metal is always good. See, like as soon as you get an ice crystal, those fuckers home in on any enemies nearby. And if you blast them near... Oh no! If you blast them near enemies, the blast itself does like 1,000 something damage. Dead. Electric Screwdriver. It's a good band name, Electric Screwdriver. Come on. Where the fuck is that last one then? Bach found a song with the same name. Electric Screwdriver. Above and Beyond. Alright, cool. Never thought about using the bot for that though. That's kind of fun. It's like randomly stuff that is said or done on stream. Ask the bot to play a song based on it. The end is near. Oh, the end is here, dude. Dude. You're already dead, dude. The end done been here, dude. There it is. A weapon crate. Super bullet. Check out my motorbike. It goes vroom. Yay. Vroom, vroom, vroom. And this is Screwdriver. That by Above and Beyond. I mean, starts out okay. Decent beat, you know? I'm not gonna shit on it immediately. Not hating it. Let's see what happens after the drop. Feels like a video game soundtrack, right? A little bit. Like, it works with the game. Tunnel! Sax! CD Barnesi taught me that one. Apparently there's some YouTuber who went like around Europe or around the US, and whenever they entered a tunnel they'd just yell out sex for the duration of the tunnel, and CD has been doing that in her American Truck Simulator run through. And I said I was gonna do it as well. Oh fuck, that is a lot of... You have magic mushroom. Sanity is low. That's the fool. I have the lowest sanity. I don't know how to... how to make sure that I get like I want to protect myself against the insanity part, but I don't know how to do it. This song is definitely in a video game soundtrack, right? The fool can try to... Ah, fuck. Oh, come on. Well, I got 16 adrenaline shots, so... There's that. And let's do that one. Cannot place vehicles in current state. Shut up. But yeah, I mean, I'm not hating the song. Also, imagine just like making a song and you're like, oh yeah, this is a real banger, just for people online to be like, yeah, sounds like it's in a video game. Alright, got a teleportation tower there. Nursing home that used to be in Silver Shore Resort. Gotcha. Alright. Is this a former retirement home? Like a gated community retirement home? Has to be then, right? The motion engine is in a video game, it's a banger. Fair.
This place is full.
You're
Strange. The stardust levels here are unusually high.
Stardust levels here are unusually high. Man, you're unusually high. Voodoo doll. Let the water wash away your sins. Water can't wash away sins. I've tried. Come on. Aw, deviation escaped. We're gonna grab this one. Oh, jeez. No, stop. Bulletproof vest. I've tried. Yeah, I mean, what can I say? I've done so many different things in my life. Yeah? I kind of assumed that we would find a ton up here. I really gotta stop streaming soon as well. I got class in 30 minutes. Like, it's online class, but still. Ooh. Nice song though. This feels very much, Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? I have not played Far Cry 3, Far Cry 5, no. This is very, very true. Far Cry 4, I have. Why is there water almost everywhere? I played some Far Cry 4, but not Far Cry 5 at all. Is this from Far Cry 5 then? You fight against the cult? Well, I do love that. Oh, jeez. Okay. Now that the whole world is ending, a new one begins. Let the water wash away your sins. That's proper, hey, let's drink the Kool-Aid music right there. I mean, it's not bad. Oh, brother, they're drinking, getting it infused and swimming in it. Nice. Oh, that's beautiful, isn't it? The fuck you! There's a big nasty enemy over there. Claw machine. Never gonna kill the teddy bear because otherwise it will explode on me. That won't die. Here we go. Great. What will our class be about today? I don't fucking remember. No, it's about response. And responding to texts. Because that's part of the writing course, is responding to each other's texts. So we're gonna have a brief class on how to respond to other people's texts. Which you could use a class on that. If you did have a class on that. I know for a fact you've had classes on that. Yeah, fuck. I need to activate the rift anchor and find another crate. Doesn't mean I don't need more fare. Magic mushroom was cured. I wonder what magic mushroom did. Like, I play this game and sometimes it's just like, oh, you have this condition. I'm like, I don't even know what it means. Stardust source. Is this over there part of it? He's gonna march us right through Eden's Gate. Really? Hey, what up, Mother of Life? Murder the Mother of Life. This doesn't feel like I should be doing this, but, you know. There we go. Alright, it wants me to get back to tall grass, but I'm going home. I'm gonna log out! Yeah. And ad is coming in a minute 55 as well, so you know what? This is like the best fucking place to end as well. Close up moment. Look at my fucking hair. Alright, gang. Thanks for watching. Thanks for being here. Let's see if... No, oh, Haunted is offline. I thought Haunted Heathen would be online right now. But CD is just getting started. So we're rating CD. Burn easy. Good luck with class. See you when I see you. I'll stream tomorrow as well. Maybe later today. Who the fuck knows? Alright, thanks for watching. Thanks for being here. Love you all. Bye.